Hello everybody, today I'm going to be doing one of your most requested. This video was inspired by a sister here on YouTube. She was talking about serviced apartment. I think the place she rented now, they have given it over to a facility management company, and the facility management company is doing what they know how to do best. So I want to talk about it, like facility management companies, especially in Lagos. Is it the new fraud? What is a serviced apartment versus a self-serviced apartment? The benefits. I'm going to be breaking it down, guys. You guys know that I love to break down things in the easiest way. So stay with me, stay chill. Now, what is this? We have what we call the semi-serviced estate. I'm going to be using some estates in Lagos, for example. One is leaving my head, Sherryview. There's an estate in Lagos called Sherryview. I think it's on Chevron Drive. Now, estates like this are very big, and Sherryview typically has so many houses inside the estate. Most estates like this have schools, have hospitals, have pharmacies. They have a whole lot in big estates like that. So because of it, they have like a central gate where they open, and they have a facility management company that manages that. Now, for estates like that, they are not fully serviced because there are so many houses there. So obviously they cannot cater to people. So those are the ones they call semi-serviced. What do estates like this give you? They give you this general first control. So when somebody wants to come to your house, they must, now we use code systems in Nigeria. Before it was strictly call. So you must give them a code that allows them get into the estate. They'll check their boots, you give them a code. That's what you're paying for. Two, you're paying for the cleanliness of the entire estate. You're paying for the security of the estate, and you're paying for it to be clean, just like basic. Now, estates like this, service charges are typically, there was one that was 80,000 an entire year. Yeah, they are typically very low. Some are 20,000 a year. Why? Because the houses are a lot, and the services they're providing is not much. They would obviously break it down to you. In some cases, they bring mobile policemen. They bring uniformed security. They do the app stuff where you can generate the code. They get phones for these people just in case it's not, maybe the app is down or something. So that's typically what they do. They take care of the entire well-being of the estate, like in terms of to make sure that the estate is clean and things like that. But they are limited to when it comes to rules and all that. Why? Because these estates I'm talking about have different houses. Like I said, sometimes companies, sometimes schools inside this estate. Now, in estate like that, you pay your first service charge, which, like I said, is typically low. Then in this big estate, you will now find mini estates, which is now your either mini estates or standalone houses. If you've been there, you probably be able to visualize and understand what I'm saying. So aside from the big estate gate, because what is an estate? I can come now and build a block of flats, put a gate, and decide to make it a mini estate. What makes it a mini estate is that we are controlling things, like there's a controlled generator, controlled water, things like that, right? While some places here have just normal standalone. Now, when a lot of these agents that don't know their work, you tell them you want a serviced apartment, they'll take you to estates like this because that's what they call serviced. But what you don't know is that these estates cannot provide you with lights, they cannot provide you water, waste bin, all those things that require, like you have to do those things yourself. They have, I think, a general waste bin stuff. If you pay and put it in front of your house, they will take it down on that general. So they will break down the basic things that this main estate gate is providing for you. Now, inside big estates like this, you will see small either standalone house. That's why estates like that cannot say no dog because it's too big. They cannot say that they can't have companies in it. They can't say they can't have schools in it. No. So that's what they call like a mini serviced estate. Now let's talk about the fully serviced estates. Now, fully serviced estate still comes in two parts. There are so many big estates. Example, Northern Foreshore Estate is big, just like Sherryview Estate is big as well. But the difference between Northern Foreshore and Sherryview is that Northern Foreshore was built, managed by a particular person or company What does that mean? That means the entire estate, even if they are no, even though it is a very big estate, they still run with what they supply light, 24 hours light to you. So generators are not allowed compared to places like Sherry View. So if you don't want to be paying monthly service charge, and so in estates like Northern Forshore, you pay, in case you don't know it, but I'm just using the name for those that know it's an example. So for places like Northern Forshore, you pay only one service charge. And that one service fee, they will tell you what it covers. It covers things like generator. Estates like that do not want noise. But estates in Sherryville will allow you bring generator. Estates in Northern Forshire will not allow you build a big gate because they are also securing your house. So at every time they need to be able to jump into your house if there's an emergency. So the gates are small. Estates in Sherryville allows you to do your own thing, meaning the gates are high because you're in charge of your own personal security. You're in charge of hiring your own security guard. If you live in a block of flats inside that estate, then all of you together are in charge of hiring that security guard compared to estates like Northern Forshire, Carry Creek, now where you're not allowed to. Now, again, like I said, they're still different. That's why you must always ask, what am I getting? Estates like Northern Forshire do allow you to bring your generator. But I think they have rules like the generator cannot be noisy. They don't let you bring all those I pass my neighbor where you'll be disturbing everybody. But people end up, even if you don't bring it, it's just for emergency purpose, because at the end of the day, they supply 24 hours light to you. So your own is just to maybe you already bought the generator before moving there. So in estates like that, a lot of people don't have generator. But estates like Sherryview, you must have your own lights because you are servicing your own place, except you take a mini estate. Some places have mini estates inside the estate. If you go to these places, you understand better what I mean. But I'm helping you to visualize it in case you're trying to rent a place and you're not around and they're giving you these options. It's always important to say, what am I getting? Right? Yeah, so places like Northern Forshire, you cannot do high fence. That automatically means that you cannot have big dogs, right? That's just an unspoken rule. You can't have big dogs. I think and also places like Northern Forshire also has phases in their estates, a very big estate. So they have a prototype. There's a place where everyone looks alike. Then there's a place where they allow them to slightly increase their gates, I think, which is like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So basically, these details are important because these agents don't know the details. So if you're like in the new phase, for example, you can't have big dogs because if you have them, they have to be permanently chained, right? Because the gates are small. And there's something that happened in an estate recently too, around there, where a dog had beaten the security guard. Yeah, a very, very, very big dog. Like, gosh, that was such a sight. He was doing his normal night routine, and I don't know, they didn't lock the gates. So that's why a lot of estates like mine, because they are security parades, bringing of those kind of big dogs are not allowed in the first place. So if you have those kind of dogs, chances are you have to be going to those estates like Chevy View, Pinnock Beach Estate that lets you have your own big compound. But estates like Northern Forshire, Cowrie Creek, you will not have that opportunity to have those big gates. So if you already have those dogs, they have to, I don't know if they allow it, I can't remember, but if they don't, even if they do, it has to be permanently locked because the gates are small. So in the serviced estates, you have to always, even though it's a service, we still have under fully serviced, again, what Nigerians call fully serviced. We have estates like Total, right, where it is fully serviced. You cannot even change your bulb. They are in charge of every single thing. Estates like this, their service charges are usually very high, right? Very high. They have a lot of estates like this around the Ikoyi. The service charge is just as good as paying rent somewhere else. It is very high, but they are full. Like when I mean fully serviced, they take care of everything. If your door spoils, something happens, it's part of your service charge. They come and repair it. Obviously, it's not like you want to get a French door. They'll come and fix the French door for you. No, but basic things around it's under them. Then they have estates. Like I'll give my own estate as an example. my estate is really what I was going for. My estate is fully serviced. It gives 24 hours light. All I need, the already comes with the meter. All I need to do is buy my light. As long as I buy light, there will be light. Like as long as I buy my electricity and put in the token, there is. So even if there's light now and I don't buy, I won't have light. So whether it's NEPA, EKDC, whether it's generator, we don't care. What we know is that as long as you have your token, your light is on. So estates like this, generators are not allowed. Now, most estates like this do not allow solar. But in my estate, they allow this, even though now they're thinking of stopping it, but they cannot do anything about the people that already have it. Because most time with solar, they spend more because people who have solar do not get to buy a lot of electricity. So also ask about that. Ask and be sure that your estate allows solar. I've been an estate that did not allow solar. It was frustrating, especially when this whole light issue started. Like, you don't want to give people 24 hours light and you're also not allowing solar. So that's why, because of that experience, anywhere I go now, the first thing I ask them is, hope you allow solar. Yeah. So my estate, that is, and it's fully serviced. They also give us water. We pay monthly. Our service charge also includes water. I live on the island, and you know that island water is a mess. So my estate dues include treatment of the water. So I must always get clean water. It includes cleaning of the common areas. Common area is pool. Common area is the children playground. Common area is the estate facility manager's office. Common area is the gym. These are the things that it comes with. Then we have uniformed security guards. Aside from the uniformed security guard, you also have mobile policemen. Now, my estate also goes as far as giving you electricians and plumbers, right? Now, if, like, for example, my bulb goes off, instead of going out now to call electrician to come and fix it, I just need to call the facility management and they will tell the electrician to come and fix it for me. But unlike that other estate I mentioned, I will be responsible for buying the bulb. So you are responsible for buying the things, like, except it's just something that needs a repair. But if it's something that requires them to buy, you are in charge of buying it. They will fix it, which is a whole lot, because it saves me having to call a plumber or having to call an electrician and keep calling and keep paying for call out fees. So these are the things that it entails. If I go to the swimming pool is clean. If it's not clean, I put a report immediately, because my money is part of that. Your money also goes towards servicing the generator, because when you're promising people 24 hours light, it means you have to constantly service the generator, and it also means that you cannot have one gen. You also have to have a backup. You have your own personal transformer, things like that. Now, there are cases where things that will spoil, that are outside that doesn't cover it. So, for example, something major spoils, like a transformer, and the amount is 12 million. Obviously, that cannot come from service charge. So when things drastic like that happens, homeowners like us take responsibility of that. So they split the money. They can tell everybody, okay, bring 100K or bring 200K, which is why it's also important to know how many people stay in your estate. The more people, the more splitting of bills like that will be easy for homeowners. But in cases like that, where you're a landlord, where you're a tenant, you will not need to worry about things like that. Your landlord is responsible for paying. Sometimes your landlord will say you should pay, that they will remove it from your next rent or something like that. But it's mostly homeowners that are responsible for that. So I wanted to also address something that someone said, that paying service charge is like renting an apartment. I don't agree. Because so my service charge is 100K. 4-bedroom, 100K on the island for 1 year. Can I get a 4-bedroom in Lekki for 2 million? The answer is no. Can I even get it for 1.2? No. I cannot even get it for 3 million. Like, you cannot even see a 4-bed now, except you're going down to a best side. You can't see a 4-bed for 3 million. So that is it. And if I had to pay security, if I had to pay mobile police, if I had to pay for water, if I had to pay for treatment of water, if I had generator, wouldn't I be servicing the generator? Things like that. So these are the things I considered before getting a fully serviced apartment. Now, the difference is, if I travel for 1 year, I would still be responsible for paying my service charge. But if I was on my own, all I can do is just switch off the gen and everything. But if I travel for 1 year, I'm still responsible for paying that. The only thing I will not buy is lights, but I'm responsible for paying for the service charge. So most times, when you know that this is a house you're not going to live in, you want to use it for business or whatever, when you're getting it in a serviced apartment, remember that you should always have it running so that either you're renting it out or using it for short-let business so that will be paying it. But you cannot go and buy, maybe you're planning to move to Nigeria in the next 5 years. Off plan comes up, right? The off plan will come up and you're like, this is a good deal. Let me put in my money. There is an estate. And you know you're not moving anytime soon. Make sure you put people in that house, except you're comfortable paying the service charge for the next 5 years. Because whenever you're ready, they give you time. So like now, if you start building, they tell you if it's a place that is built or a place you're living in, whatever, if you move in like in January, they'll give you time to set up. So maybe they will not pay, you will not pay service charge for that January. You start paying for like 2 months. And for those building in estates that still have land, they still give you time that you must finish this building within a year. Once it's past that, they start charging you for your service charge. So even if you lock it for 5 years and say I'm abroad, that 5 years you pay service charge. If you come back, it will be waiting for you. Yes, they'll just put you in minus. And once they put you in minus, you cannot receive water, you cannot receive light. So you cannot use like in my estate now, we use card to go into the gym. So if I don't pay my service charge, my card will not work. I cannot use the gym. I cannot buy light. Water will not run. They don't even need to off it. Like you can't do anything with your app. So you have to have that in mind if you're planning to buy in a fully serviced. Remember that you either have to be using it to stay or you need to put tenants or use it for business, short let or whatever. Another thing to ask is that when you're getting an apartment or you're getting a place in a serviced estate, ask questions. Service estates also comes with a lot of rules and regulations. Sometimes they change it along the line. I did a video recently of a place I bought. When I bought it, it was okay to use Airbnb. Now, because of the issues that happened, they're like, they don't want Airbnb there. Well, it's a win-win because I just have to sell it. So my point is, ask questions. Say, is solar around? Don't just go for the agent that'll tell you to buy it and then you now realize that, oh, solar is not allowed in this estate. Find out their rules. Like even if they're going to change their rules, it's never drastic. Usually things like, okay, delivery guys can come in from this time to this time, right? Like in most estates, they do not let delivery guys come in overnight. By a certain time, you have to now go outside and collect it. Now, estates that are really big, where it is a long walk to the estates, they usually have those conversations. The estate that will say that, okay, Uber cannot come in at a certain time, but that's estates that are really small. Maybe your house is walkable, but if your house is like really far, they cannot come. Imagine living in like an estate that your house is phase 3. They'll not tell you that once it's 12, Uber cannot come in. Run from that estate because what happens to you, you're going to work by that time. Yeah, so always ask for the rules and regulations of the estate. Now, the trick is this, right? The facility managers come, I think I should quickly address that. Are they the new scammers? Yes and no. Yes and no. If you meet a bad facility management company, you are in trouble. So please, estates that are signing with facility management companies, make sure you do not sign more than 1 year so that if they are not okay, you can remove them. Someone showed me a video of the previous facility management company that we were using in one of my estates. Do you know what these people were doing? They were putting a jerry can and did a whole pipe like close to the water fuel tank. So they will show you that, yes, so we brought this amount of fuel because they're meant to diesel, they're meant to submit how much they brought, show the receipt and everything. But they were using something to be collecting. I'm so glad I wasn't there at that time. So they found that out because in estate there's something called the ESCO. Of course, I'm part of the ESCO in my estate. You guys will not be surprised knowing that I know fully well about this. Every time I move to an estate, they're like, Sarah, join ESCO. You guys know why already. Yeah, so these are things. ESCOs were in charge of checking those things to be sure that the facility management company, they are providing what they said they will provide. If they say it's 6 mobile security, the mobile securities will sign in and sign out. I forgot to say that we also have a gardener. Every time the gardener comes, they sign in and sign out. Every time they buy something, they show us the details and they bring quotations from different places before we can say go ahead and buy. If not, facility management companies will use you and build another house, especially because most facility management companies are the estate people that built the house. Like, so they built it and they want to keep managing it. So they want to make it like it was a JV. So they want to make back the money that they did not make. Run away from the ones like that. I once stayed in an estate where the developer, his company was the facility management company. So we had a meeting that, sorry, you have sold all your house. We don't need you here again. So it was mainly one house. He said, sell it off. We need to manage it by ourselves. We need to get another company, because he wasn't being transparent. Like, so we're like, no, we need people that will be showing us. So I agree, those people can rip you off. You know, if you sign long term with them, if you don't have the right escrow checking what they are doing, because in most cases they also invest, because they take 10% of the yearly money. Aside from the fact that you will still pay the facility manager from people's, obviously you've paid your service charge, so everything they're paying is not your business, but the main company takes 10%. So sometimes they invest, which is why facility management companies are good. If your transformer blow now and the estate, maybe the transformer is 10 million, and the estate doesn't have up to 10 million in their account, while they are waiting for people to contribute money and pay, the facility management company usually gives money from their own pocket and pay for it. Then you'll be owing them, obviously, with percentage, which is why people use them. So they're not entirely bad. I've experienced very bad ones, and I've also experienced very good ones. In fact, the ones that I'm currently dealing with now, they are so good, so transparent. What they deliver is like what they said they would deliver is what they are giving, which is amazing. Imagine providing 24 hours like now, that a lot of estates have not been able to do it, and still we are paying for it, yes, but we're not saying like 300 per kilowatt, you know what I mean? So they always try to, they're very consistent. Like if light is better, they're like, oh, this period though, we didn't really use diesel, light is better now, up here and there. So, and we are also very hands-on, because that's another thing. When you're buying a house, make sure you have more homeowners there. If you have tenants there, even me, I'm not interested. I'm like, okay, after 1 year, I'm out of here. So make sure, the first thing I did was ask for the homeowners group. And I said, okay, homeowners live here, so they will be active. So they're involved. They care about what is happening there. It is very important to look at that when you're looking to buy. Yeah, so like I said, people that always say it's like paying rent. It's only like paying rent if you're staying in Banana Island, where the service charge is very expensive. But service charge of like, 80K, 100K, 120, depending on the service they are giving you, can never be equal to paying rent. But it just means that at every point, maybe if you're retired, you always have to have this amount of money. Do you get, like, because you need to pay your dues. Anyway, that's it. If you have any question again surrounding real estate, moving back to Nigeria, anything generally you think that you want me to cover, please do it. And if I'm owing you, you can, like any video, please, you can still respond. Because sometimes this video, I'm like, oh, yes, I'm owing foreigners that need to move back to Nigeria. I owe you a video. Thank you so much and stay blessed. My name is Sarah Donald. If you like what you see, please don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, share, guys. It helps the algorithm know that, okay, this girl is not wasting her time. Thanks and stay blessed.